worship whichsoever God we choose. We are all the same people, regardless of sex, race, creed, color, sexual orientation, political persuasion, or religious denomination. But these clowns want to tell you that my God is better than your God. My God is superior to your God. Let me explain this first of all. I do not want to go to a Christian heaven. No, I don't want to go. Why? Because I have never seen a black angel in my life. And I know in your Christian heaven, if I unfortunately happen to end up there as a black man of 6'2", weighing over 200 pounds, I know that you white people will use me for security purposes. Fuck you. Look after your own pearly gates. We're all the same people, regardless of sex, race, creed, color. I don't want to go to your heaven. They play harp music up there. I don't like fucking harp music. I like the bass guitar and drums. Yeah. When you tell me about your heaven, I think about white clouds and snow. No! Cold climates are for white people. I come from the sun where it's hot. I think I'm going down there where it's hot. Not up there. Nonsense. We are all the same people. Everyone has the right to worship their own God. However, the subject of racism is so sensitive to some people that people just don't want to discuss it. People rather sweep it under the carpet. Oh, it doesn't exist. Whether it be racism in this society, of whites versus anyone who's not white, because of your own deluded notions of superiority. Whether it be prejudice in Islam, whereby many of those in the Arab world discriminate against their own fellow brother Asian Muslims, whether they're from Bangladesh or India or Africa. This is the type of prejudice. How are you doing? Thank you.
Lovely North Korea. Fuck America.
We even have adverts in this meeting. We even have adverts in this meeting. My friends, I'm saying to you, why should we not be able to discuss these issues as they affect us? My friends, hands up if you're Jewish. Hands up if you're Jewish. Don't be afraid. I'll protect you from these Muslims.
They're the Popsy Queen.
Don't make them terrify you with names like Muhammad, Abdullah. Hands up if you're Muslim. Don't be afraid. I'll protect you from these tyrannical Jews. They control every fucking thing. Hands up if you're Christian. Don't be afraid. I'll protect you from yourselves. Whether you are Jewish, Muslim, or Christian, you all worship the same God. Jews acknowledge Adam and Eve. So do Muslims. So do Christians. Jews acknowledge Abraham. Muslims acknowledge Abraham. Christians acknowledge Abraham. Jews acknowledge Moses. Muslims acknowledge Moses. Christians acknowledge Moses. And if you share the same prophets, whether it be in the Torah, in the Quran, or in the Bible, why the hell are you murdering and butchering one another in the name of your so-called faith? But it's not about religion. The war in Israel and Palestine has nothing to do with Jews versus Muslims. It has everything to do with land.
Oil! Cameron!
Exploitation of a people.
Cameron, Hitler.
When we look at the situation in Palestine and Israel, and we see a Muslim people, Palestinians, who are fighting for the right to be recognized as human beings, fighting for the right to have a sovereign state, fighting for a right to exist. And in this corrupt world, whereby their land has been stolen, whereby the people have been butchered, whereby the children are being murdered, they, the Palestinian people, are the ones who are painted as the terrorists. Whilst the very people who perpetrate the crimes against them, backed by Western weapons of destruction, like F-16 fighter jets, Apache helicopter gunships, they are seen as the heroes. I am impartial. I'm a Jamaican. It's got fuck all to do with me. I'm Jamaican. So I'm just giving you my point of view, my take on the situation. Look at it. It is corrupt. Corrupt. And I am not against Jews. I'm not anti-Jewish.
Look at the internet. Fuck BBC.
Bullshit, bollocks and crap.
I am anti-Zionist. Anti-Zionist. My friends, look at it. Israel exists today because of the crimes against the Jewish people that were committed in Europe. It was the Germans who killed the Jews. The Poles killed Jews. Ukrainians killed Jews.
Spanish.
Russians killed Jews. The Spanish persecuted their Jews. The British knew about the murders of the Jewish people. They were all complicit in the murder of the Jewish people. And as a result of Europe's guilt, they gave away the land of Palestine as the result of crimes committed by Europeans against Jewish people. That is the reality. That is what exists today. And many of you don't recognize. Before they offered the Zionist people, the Zionist movement, Palestine, they offered the Jewish people Uganda. They offered the people a part of Africa. What right did the British have to offer a part of Africa as a homeland for the Jewish people? They had no right. Sorry, sir? Or a part of the Middle East. They had no right. No right. My friend, I say this and I say it again. It was the Germans who initiated the annihilation, the destruction and the murder of Jewish people. And I believe Jewish people deserve a homeland for their suffering. So I suggest, if you want to give the Jewish people a homeland, give them fucking Germany.
Good. Yes.
Give them Germany.
Why not Uganda?
If you don't like Germany, have England as well. Just leave Brixton, Southall and Edgware Road alone. But have it. Have it. You have no right to be giving away the lands of other people. And now, the people of Palestine are fighting for their homeland. And I stand up and I salute the people of Palestine and every martyr who has fallen in this victorious fight against Nazism, fascism, apartheid. Because that's exactly what it is. The Zionist movement in Israel is practicing apartheid.
Yes.
Let's call it what it is.
Want to talk about it?
But let me just not round off on the Jewish people, on Zionism, on Israel. The Israelis are not the people to blame because of the plight of the Palestinians. The people to blame for the plight of the Palestinians are you Arabs. Are you Muslims. Many of your Arab leaders are complicit complicit in the mass murder of their own people. Traitors! Traitors!
Traitors, yeah.
Jordan! The House of Al Saud!
Yes.
The Sabah family of Kuwait! Sheikh Ahmed bin Khalifa! Qatar, Bahrain! You are complicit in the destruction of your own people. I say this. When Europeans don't like someone, and they always have an Arab or Muslim bogeyman in their back pocket. When they don't like someone, the Allies, the West, Europeans, they impose sanctions. They freeze your assets. They block trade. They close your bank accounts. They collectively work together for the actions that they want.
Russia, support Iran.
When?
World War III will be a Hollywood blockbuster, man.
When will you Arabs?
50 million Muslims, man.
When will you Arabs? When will you Muslims stand up in solidarity with your brothers in suffering in Palestine? When will the Saudi government, the Bahraini government, the Qatari government, the Pakistani government, when the Indonesian government, when will these governments stand up and say, we will no longer trade with you? When will the Arab, the Muslims say, no more oil until we have a solution to the Palestinian conflict?
Good.
When will you start standing up in support of your brothers of Islam, your sisters in Islam? I guarantee you, if Muslims said today,
Stand up like Iran! Fuck America!
not that, my friend. If Arabs stood up today,
Fuck America!
if Muslims stood up today and said no more oil until we have a solution to the Palestinian conflict, I guarantee you Palestinians by midnight tonight would be dancing in the street in celebration of their freedom, in celebration of their new sovereign land. But oh no, the problem we have is we never stand unified. And that's how it's always easy for them to pick us off. My friends, look at it. Europeans don't love each other. In fact, Europeans don't even like each other. The British call the French frogs.
Yes.
The British call the Germans krauts.
Yes.
They don't like anyone. The British are elitist. They think they have the right to rule. However, when it comes time to making decisions, forming policies, they work together as a collective. They will vote as part of the European bloc. However, we, on the other hand, Africa, Asia, and the other worlds, we fight amongst ourselves. We pull each other down like crabs in a barrel.
Traitors also.
Sorry? They're all traitors. We pull each other down like crabs in a barrel, just waiting to be picked off. We have the Americans. We have the West. Now, last week, 2 weeks ago,
You can have Colin Powell as well.
2 weeks ago, I was arrested in Hyde Park. And that's how I broke the bone in my hand.
Were you fighting with the police?
I was fighting with the police? No! My friend, I made a statement of which someone from the audience took offense,
Okay.
said I was being racist,
Yes.
then threatened me. I stood down.
Yes.
I was then attacked. I defended myself, and I'm the one who ends up getting arrested.
So that's why I didn't see you for such a long time.
Well, you didn't see me last week because it was raining.
The British
And the week
weather
before,
here.
I was in custody.
Okay.
That's the reason why.
In Her Majesty's custody.
This is what I said that caused so much anger against someone for someone who was listening.
I said the truth.
I said the international community
No such
is
thing, Mr.
nothing
Speaker.
but a Western white boys club. I said that when they use the euphemism, the international community says this, and the international community demands that.
You've been listening to Hillary
When-
Clinton again, haven't you?
When they say the international community says this, they are referring to America, Britain, France, Spain, Italy,
Belgium.
Germany, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. They are referring to the white Western countries.
Yes.
When they say the international community demands this, they're not talking about Nigeria,
Or Jamaica.
Pakistan,
South America.
Jamaica, Kuwait, Somalia.
They're talking about
No!
themselves.
When they say the international community demands this, they are referring to the white Western nations.
Yes.
It is a boys' club. Why? In the old days, imperialists went off and looted and robbed by themselves. The British went to Africa, fucked with the Africans, stole what they could, came back home and celebrated. The British were good at it.
Yes.
The British were experts at it. So good at what they did that others tried to emulate them, like Adolf Hitler. All Adolf Hitler wanted was an empire like what the British had. But Hitler went about it the wrong way.
Yes.
He didn't read the book properly. He started colonizing white people, white countries, and broke the main rules in the book. It's all right to do it if you do it to non-white countries.
That's right.
But start colonizing white people and you're in trouble.
That's right.
Let's be honest about this shit. What did Hitler do that was so bad in the eyes of the world? He was a criminal, yes. He tried to exterminate the Jewish people, yes. But where did that program come from? The eugenics program was started in England. The eugenics program was started right here in England.
That's right.
What did Hitler try to do? He herded the Jews, Jehovah's Witnesses, blacks, others, disabled people, into concentration camps. Concentration camps. Where does the idea of concentration camps come from? It comes from England,
Correct.
whereby Lord Baden-Powell and Lord Kitchener were fighting a war in South Africa.
And Sudan.
And the Boers who were there against, and Sudan. And what they said was Lord Kitchener decided, he said,
Why do you call it
Yeah.
Lord?
"No, you're right, that bastard Kitchener,
I thought you were a revolutionary.
you're right, but I'm still in training, I'm still in training.
We all
I
get
haven't
there.
passed the 6 weeks basic training yet, but I'll get there. That bastard! Lord Kitchener, oh see, I skipped again. Fuck yes. Habits, let me get this right. That bastard Kitchener, right. Kitchener said the idea was to concentrate the civilian population so that supplies and food would not be able to get to the enemy. And in the process, thousands upon thousands of people died and were starved to death.
Yes.
That is where the notion of concentration camps come from.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about, oh, but Hitler killed 6 million Jews, all I'm saying to you is, in the West, you have a subjective version of history.
Yes.
Because didn't the British kill over 10 million Indians
Yes.
in 1870
Yes.
during the famines that they created?
Yes.
Didn't they kill hundreds of thousands in Ireland in 1866?
Black
Yeah.
and Tans, 1919.
My friend, of course. The Irish potato famines, how was that started? And I love the Irish. I love the IRA. The International Rastafarian Organization.
They got courage, man. Them people.
I'm just telling you all of, listen, this is not to divide anybody, because I believe we are all the same people and we're all screwed up collectively. But I'm saying there comes a time when we have to take personal responsibility for what we ingest, the information that we believe. My friend, this world is not divided into black and white. That's what they would have us believe. The world is not divided by Muslims and Christians. That's not what they believe. My friend, let me say this. I see wealthy Muslims
Oh yes.
enjoying the fruits of global exploitation
Yes.
as much as I see wealthy Jews. I see wealthy black people
Yes.
enjoying the fruits of global exploitation
Yes.
as much as I see white people.
Good.
And now we have the devil himself reincarnated as a nigger in the White House under the name of Barack Obama. Hold up. And I hear this argument from black people every day. Oh, don't criticize Obama. What's Obama done? Obama's all right. Obama is a puppet, just like every other government and president that has passed before him. Obama is a clown. And so what you have is black people terrified of insulting him. And then you have the white liberal elite, the leftist socialists, who are afraid to criticize him in case they're called racist. So they allow the tyranny of Barack Obama, a man who is twice as dangerous as George W. Bush.
And 3 times more
because he's black. Because he's black, he gets away with the shit. The architects of this global plan, they're not stupid. These people are experts. They have PhDs in fucking exploitation.
Good.
They recognize what buttons to press with you people. Look, over the last 10 years, since George Bush Jr. came to power, who has sold us every major war of this main century? Black people. George W. Bush recognizes that if you have a white man out front saying we need to go to war, people just don't believe him. But black people who've been through slavery, oppression, you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to be against global exploitation. So they use that black voice to legitimize global exploitation. They give you Colin Powell, a Jamaican yardie himself.
Yes.
Let's break them one by one. We had Colin Powell, that lying, fucking, thieving, drug fucking selling yardie bastard. He's from Jamaica.
Yes.
Parents from Jamaica.
Yeah.
That yardie went before the United Nations, sat down, made himself comfortable, took out his laptop, flips it up like he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Okay.
Get the overhead projection working, and all the world is sitting down. And he takes out his stick, and he says, this is where we have the mobile chemical laboratories. There, right there, right there. We know exactly where it is. It is on Alibaba Lane, right there, next to the mosque. He told you exactly where it was. Yet when the Americans went in, bombed, destroyed, murdered, I refuse to use the word killed.
Murder.
Killed is a legitimate act with discrepancies. Murder is the unlawful act of taking someone's life. These people murdered hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians. On the spurious, my friend, we can even argue about millions. I'm trying to be conservative. I'm trying to be conservative. Let's just say they killed many, many people based upon the spurious evidence of Colin Powell. Based upon that. Then Condoleezza Rice came on scene. And then Condoleezza Rice, another black face to sell the lies. And do you know what? The puppet masters realized that it was so good.
Look behind all that.
The mileage they got
It's insane.
The puppet masters realized that they got so much mileage and credibility from using the black face with Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice that they thought, fuck it, if it works so well, why not make one of these niggas president? And here we have Barack Obama.
That's it.
Why? Because America had lost so much credibility on the world stage because of the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo Bay. We also had Hurricane Katrina in America, whereby people saw America's racism exposed for the first time. Hurricane Katrina, whereby it swept away everything and left all the black people behind. And I saw for the first time, I thought, fuck it, damn, there are Americans, black Americans in America who can't even speak English. I saw a man stuck on a roof with a sign, help me. And then someone came and did an interview with him. What happened? He says, it goes, it goes, it goes. He said, what's gone? It goes, it goes. Jeez, it showed you the base of America, where black people and poor white people were left behind. And I didn't mention white people, but whites are the same. Whites are honorary niggers. They're called poor white trash, trailer trash. They're treated in the same way, despised almost as much. Almost, but not quite. But they're despised just the same. I just say black people because those poor whites are honorary blacks. But they caught the same hell as those people left behind. Shut up! And so, what we had was America recognized Hurricane Katrina, the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo Bay. All of these things they recognized. We need something revolutionary to get people back because people were losing faith. When America had issues with Iran, but America couldn't speak up against Iran, Britain had to do that because America had no credibility. So it was Britain who was leading the charge against Iran. We have the weak Blair government saying, oh, we. I wish America just fucking sat back and Iran and said, you what, Mr. England? What the fuck can you do? The British Empire's gone!
A long time
ago. It's the American Empire we're living in right now.
Yeah.
All we have is a bully in the playground, America.
Big bully.
And a bully always has a little companion you want to kick the fuck out of. That's England. When America comes over and says, yo, rude boy, give me your money, blood clot boy, give me your money. You have Britain saying, yeah, give it over. It's a mugging. That's who Britain is. They can't do fuck all by themselves. Without the bully there, the British would be doing fuck all. Do you think the British would have gone to Iraq without America? Fuck no. Please.
That's true. That's true.
So let's just get it into perspective. America needed something radical, something revolutionary. So they put out to the voters something new, something novel, something never before heard of. They said it's going to be the first black man or the first female as president. And the voters went, woo! The whole world, because they're so easily fucking wild. Woo! Wicked, the next concert. I must buy my tickets in advance for this.
Yeah.
We thought, let's get a part of this. The first woman or the first man, first black man. We knew already what it was going to be. It had to be one or the two. It could have been Hillary or Barack. But we knew it was never going to be John McCain. Or what's the other one? Sarah Palin. Look at John McCain. I have never seen a Republican candidate like that fielded in my life. Remember, the puppet masters know what they're doing. They field Usain Bolt against him. Or him. Look, they knew what they were doing. They field John McCain, a man who was 105 years old and has already had 2 heart attacks and is 1 beat away from death. And he's the main candidate.
Yes.
And they choose as his running mate, Sarah Palin, a certified village idiot, to run as his running mate. Now let's think, who's really gonna win? And then they get their PR machine to work on Obama, on presenting who Obama is. They don't sell Obama on who Obama really is, his personality, his persona. No! They give you a construct of half Martin Luther King. Right. Half John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
So you split the fucking votes. He couldn't lose. When it came time to sell, when all the candidates, remember, it was the anniversary of Martin Luther King's death, and all the candidates went onto the site of the motel where Martin Luther King was killed. They all visited the scene with all the press and everything else, and some of them looked back, they're fucking actors, aren't they? They all get Jesse Jackson. Oh, Jesse Jackson, that living fucking Uncle Tom. That living opportunist. That living opportunist, that damn Uncle Tom. In fact, I won't even call him Uncle Tom, that damn nigger. Jesse Jackson, damn clown. We have all of the candidates get to the site and we must remember this day. Barack Obama didn't go.
That's right.
He didn't go.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't want to be seen because what he's doing as their candidate, as they're playing the game, they don't want to make Barack Obama too black for the white voters. Because Barack Obama is just one step away from either Martin Luther King or being presented as Malcolm X.
Right.
And I don't think white voters are going to vote for Malcolm.
No.
Somehow. So it was a very carefully constructed campaign to make sure that Barack Obama does everything right. Change we can believe in. Listen to all the slogans. Yes, we can. Change we can believe in. And people around the world are saying, Barack, even though it's got fuck all to do with you, the American elections. What the fuck does it? Do you think Americans care who's voted in Jamaica as president? Do you think they run around wasting all this time postulating, I wonder who's going to win? Fuck no. But we around the world are all concerned who's going to make it to the presidency. Barack Obama said, change we can believe in. Yes, we can. Barack Obama gave you his manifesto. He made you all believe in it. Barack Obama said, we're going to stop the war in Iraq. We're going to bring home the troops. Hold on, my friend. Barack Obama said, if I become president, I'm going to close down Guantanamo Bay.
He didn't say that, and he hasn't.
Now, this was on his campaign in 2008. True. And he took office in 2009. And he said, he went further. Barack Obama went further. Barack Obama said, I won't just close down Guantanamo Bay. I will close Guantanamo Bay down within the first year of office. I will close down Guantanamo Bay on the 10th of on January 2010.
Lying Democrat.
That's what Barack Obama said. Barack Obama said, I'm going to sedate the war in Afghanistan. Barack Obama said he's going to find peace between Israel and Palestine.
Yes, he said it.
Now, let's look at Obama's electoral pledge. Let's look at the black president who you all love to love. Barack Obama said he's going to withdraw troops from Iraq. Yes, they withdrew the troops, and then they initially left 50,000 troops behind. And all the world's media, all the world's fucking broadcasters said, yes, America's left. And they gave an interview with the last soldier, and they created one of those iconic photographs that you're going to see, or your children's going to see, in these annals, these history annals of the 21st century. They showed you a picture of a US soldier stepping over the Kuwaiti border. And that's the picture you're going to see in all the brochures. How the fuck can you say that America has withdrawn from Iraq when you've still got 50,000 combat troops left? Only in this world of make-believe can that fucking happen. But they did it, and you motherfuckers believed it. Wow. Hold up. It didn't stop there. Barack Obama said he was going to close down Guantanamo in January 2010. We are now Obama, a man with this who was trying to sell his human rights records, was appalled by Abu Ghraib. He was appalled by the notion that it was torture. Yet, when Barack Obama came to office, when it was Barack Obama's time to oversee the Bush administration's application of torture, Barack Obama said, nah, it wasn't torture. It's all right. These methods are usable. Imagine, they talk about waterboarding, holding someone's head underground the water, putting a towel over someone's face to induce drowning. That's not torture according to Barack Obama.
Drone attacks.
Drone attack, that's push. Furthermore, Barack Obama has stepped up his bombing campaign against Pakistan. As this brother rightfully pointed out, drone attacks. Look at where these drone attacks are taking place. These drone attacks are not just taking place in Afghanistan. What are drone attacks? Drone attacks are unmanned aircrafts that drop missiles on people.
And that's what they use.
These drone attacks, it's not just Afghanistan. They've dropped drones in Somalia, killing hundreds upon hundreds of civilians. They use drone attacks in Yemen. They use drones in Libya. They use drones in Afghanistan. They use drones in Pakistan. Now tell me, what is the difference?
In Somalia as well.
Somalia, we mentioned Somalia. What is the difference when the Western media every day try to pull at your heartstrings, try to make you sensitive to what's going on in Syria? What is the difference when they tell you, oh, there's been another massacre, 37 people killed by the Assad regime, and they want you to feel sympathy? Why the fuck don't that same media tell you about the drone attacks created by America, perpetrated by America in Somalia? Every day, every day, every day. in Somalia, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan. These attacks are not random attacks, not isolated attacks that take place once a month, once every few months. These attacks by drone and aircrafts are taking place daily. They are killing civilians daily. But you, the Western public, you're so disconnected from news. You're so plugged into the X Factor and fucking Facebook and Twitter. You bunch of armchair revolutionary socialist motherfuckers.
Football worse than syphilis.
Ishmahil, just rest.
Sorry? Rest. What I need to do is stop swearing, but it's habitual.
It's very hard, isn't it?
It's very hard.
Because your throat.
Do you know why? Let me tell you. Let me tell you why I started swearing. I've been speaking at Speaker's Corner for 26 years. I went to court twice for the use of the word. So basically I use it to exercise free speech. Not that I really mean that, not that my alter ego is like that when I step down. I'm much more passive. However, what I'm saying is, we the public, and when I say Western public, I don't just mean white people. Because we're living in this bubble which is all mixed and meshed and everything else. You have many Muslims saying, oh, I hate this country. I hate this country. Look at this policy. And that's why we have to be balanced, because, let me say, it is better to be black or non-white and living in Britain than it is to be black or non-white living in France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Germany, Ukraine, Poland.
Russia.
So I'm saying to you, we might criticize the system, but it is to improve the system. It is to make the system better. But I do think we should also value some of the liberties that we have in this country. Don't sedate your anger. Still speak out, but also give credence and acknowledgement to the good things that happen in this country. I look at Britain, and I don't just look at the politicians, I look at the people. And many of the people here are tolerant. It's their politicians who abuse them. It's their politicians who are screwing them over just as much as anyone else. Look how last week we had the Queen's Diamond Jubilee.
Yeah.
The Diamond Jubilee. We are celebrating the fucking wedding of one of the richest bitches in this country. She's a bitch. Listen, check this out. The Diamond Jubilee. It cost this country £3 billion to host that Diamond Jubilee.
For 4 days.
They didn't just have, hold on. They didn't just have one bank holiday. They had a bank holiday Tuesday, which I've never heard of in my life. I'm only used to getting 1 day off. Bank holiday Monday.
Union Jacks made in China.
They said have Tuesday as well.
Union Jacks made in China.
What we're talking about is the event cost £250 million to put on. And the rest was made up in lost revenues from those who took the days who didn't have to go to work. The economy lost £3 billion. Now I just want you to think about this, because I know that your real thoughts about the Jubilee were never expressed on television. All you had was David Dimbleby or whatever his fucking name is. And now we have the procession down the mall. And you have some people jump up and stand to salute when you hear the fucking tune blaring out and see all these people waving these flags, and you think it's my patriotic duty. But bear this in mind. $3 billion. Think about this. They're about to cut the police service by 20%. When I was arrested 2 weeks ago, they had me in custody for 24 hours before they even started the interview. When I spoke to the inspector, who was very nice, the officers were very, we had these long discussions through the Atchon at 3 o'clock in the morning. They said, bloody hell, this is only happening because now they're pushing for 20% cuts. He said, I've only got 3 people working the night shift, not officers on duty. 3 people in the station. That's why you can't do the interview. They were nice about it. And he said, imagine what's going to happen when they cut the service by 20%.
It'll be even worse.
Think about this. How many nurses could you have employed for the $3 billion? You talk about student fees, and you are now making Britain's youth, Britain's future, pay for its education. You could have at least halved the amount of money they're going to pay by throwing that £3 billion that you spent on Lizzie's diamond wedding. How many firefighters could you have employed? How many policemen could you have employed? But oh no, that's the Diamond Jubilee. Now, couldn't Lizzie have herself come out and said, I'm not going to deal with any more of this pomp and ceremony. I think we should turn over the money that we were going to use for this Diamond Jubilee and inject it back into the economy. I think the Queen would have actually got much more support, and I would have stood up and taken off my hat and put my hand on my chest and said, "Boy, Lizzie, that's why we need a monarchy in this country, to say the right thing." But oh no, like the ruling elite every fucking where, they don't give a fuck about poor people. All they were concerned about was their fucking... And imagine, it's poor people who went out waving their flags. Ah! It's the poor.
In the rain as well.
In the fucking rain as well.
Ishmahil,
Hold on. It's not true, no. Listen.
it's ignorant.
I refuse to go out and celebrate.
It's ignorant.
I refuse to celebrate the wedding anniversary of one of the richest women in this country who's married to a racist fucking Greek.
Yeah.
I refuse. He's a nice man. That the amount of racist statements that man has made, it's unbelievable. He's not even English. But then again, neither is the royal family. The royal family are German.
Good.
They're German. Prince Philip was born in Greece. His real name is Philippos. I knew Philippos when he used to sell fucking kebabs in Finsbury Park. Fuck Philippos. Let's get real. What we were celebrating was not the Diamond Jubilee. We were celebrating empire. Because the establishment recognizes that by putting on this pageantry and affair, the people become much more patriotic, which supports the government's foreign policies, which makes people then believe again about empire. We the British are so great. You're right.
The dying British.
What is that? What is that in
This is what we're talking about. My friend, prejudice, oppression is not just black or white. As you look around you and you see us all standing up here, there is no difference between us. None. But people would like to create those differences so that when we go back to our homes, to our communities, rather than think about the people who are really fucking us over collectively, rather than think about the people who fuck us all over, we go back to our communities and some of us say, the Muslims, look at the Muslims. Some white people say, look at my black neighbors. Some black people say, look at these Eastern Europeans, they're coming in and taking over our jobs. I've heard so much racism and prejudice coming from black people, non-white people, who now say, look at the Eastern Europeans. It's a nonsense. They are talking in the same language as when we arrived in this country. I remember growing up in the 70s and hearing